Welcome back. All right, 7 games today. Not too bad for a Sunday. Lasts all day, but still done pretty early, relatively speaking, to most nights where I'm doing reviews. So not too shabby. All right, so we start off with the crazy one. Absolutely bonkers Seattle New York Rangers game. This had so many swings in it. So it's Grubauer versus Quick. It would have been Shesterkin, but he was in the hospital with his wife who's giving birth to their baby. So good for her. Lafreniere to Panarin near miss. The shots are 3-1 for the Rangers at 3 minutes. And Riley Smith at 3:38 scores from Keandre Miller and Zibanejad, and it just trickles through Grubauer and gets put in. The Rangers press for another. We get a power play for New York. That becomes 11 seconds of 4-on-4. Everything's killed off there. Shots are 9-3 for the Rangers with 7.5 minutes left. Grubauer at this point kind of sloppy, coughing up rebounds, but when you look at the score, there was some sloppiness going around in this one. Gord's denied on a rush. Kreider has a rush chance that's caught and held. The Kraken press with a minute and a half left. Mancini has a net feed that's picked off, and things are punchy at the horn. It's 1-0 Rangers after one. Second period, there's an early power play for Seattle, and they score on it. At 1:46, it's Bjorkstrand with a tip in close. Zibanejad was without a stick, so it was like 5-on-3.5. Stevenson and Beniers with the assists. Rangers press for a response, and they get it. At 2 minutes and 50 seconds on a tic-tac-toe play, Hedel with a wrister scores. The assists to Kakko and Cooley. We then get a power play for the Rangers. They score on theirs as well. At 4:47, it's Trocheck bearing a rebound and close. Adam Fox with the assist there. Riley Smith's then denied on a fast break, so it's 3-1 Rangers. It feels like everything's going in their direction at this point. Rangers press at 8.5 minutes, but the Kraken press with 8.5 minutes left, and the momentum starts to shift. At 14:04, Tanev scores from Stevens and Cartier. The Kraken then look to tie it, and they do. At 15:34 on a one-timer from the slot, it's Tolvanen from Bjorkstrand and Wright. Too many turnovers by the Rangers. And then at 19:24, Bjorkstrand tips one in close. Suddenly, it's a 4-3 lead for Seattle after two. Third period, 1 minute in, during a press, Vince Dunnett goes posting in, Burakovsky and Stevenson with the assists. So now it's a 2-goal lead for Seattle. Kraken press for another. The Rangers get some pressure at 4 minutes. In fact, the shots are 5-2 New York at 7 minutes. We get a press by the Rangers at 9 minutes, but at 11:13, it's another tip in. It's Wright from Tolvanen and Bjorkstrand, and this one's on a rush. So a lot of these goals, I'm not going to put them on quick. You guys can watch the replays. This was just really sloppy defense by the New York Rangers. And then Miller puts one in off Grubauer's head at 12:27. Panarin and Fox with the assists. So Rangers making a game of it again. And then Lafreniere from Trocheck and Panarin at 14:58 makes it a 1-goal game. So they pull the goalie with 2:15 left, and at 18:14, Yanni Gourde hits the empty net. The assist to Beniers and Alexiak. That is your insurance goal. Seattle wins this one 7-5. So the 80s Magnets on the board. Seattle goes to 14-14-1. They now go home. They'll play against Florida on Tuesday. The New York Rangers 14-11-11, and tomorrow night they get to host Chicago. So shots on net: 12-6 Rangers in the first, 12-11 Rangers in the second, 13-5 Rangers in the third. Final shots are 37-22 for the Rangers, who lost 7-5. The power plays: both teams go 1 for 2. The hits: 20-16 for Seattle. Grubauer 32 saves on 37 shots. Jonathan Quick, 15 saves on 21 shots. Again, I know how rough those numbers look for Quick, but what I saw was really poor defensive coverage and just nobody taking anybody. Like, you'd see Seattle passing around the zone and the Rangers just watching them. Like, are they gonna share with us? Go make a check. Do something. You guys are getting paid millions of dollars. I don't know. Go throw a body check or something. The fact the hits were only 16 by the Rangers tells you they didn't do a lot of defending. All right, Tampa Bay and the Vancouver Canucks. So it's Vasilevsky versus Lankinen. There's an early 4-minute power play for the Canucks. However, it's Quinn Hughes who takes the high stick, and he's bloodied, and he has to leave for repairs. So that power play was awful. It was killed off, only one shot on net during that 4 minutes. The Bolts press at 6.5 minutes. Tampa Bay has a 2-on-1 that misfires. They get some pressure. Shots are 4-2 for Tampa with 9.5 minutes left. And then Hughes returns to the game, and bingo, all of a sudden the Canucks start playing better. If you want to make an argument for Quinn Hughes for the Hart Trophy, stuff like this absolutely, to me, counts. he's not, and I understand they're already down Hronik, but man, without Hughes, and with Hughes, it makes such a huge difference. So the Canucks press with 4 minutes left, and at 16:08, on a backhand, pass to screen, Quinn Hughes gets the goal. Suter with the assist, so he's the second youngest Canuck defenseman to get to 50 goals. Rick Lands, the youngest. Good trivia answer right there. The Canucks press for another. There's more pressure by the Canucks to close it out. They win that period. They're up 1-0. And again, when Quinn Hughes came back, the game totally changed. Second period, Asimon has a rush chance that's saved. Sasson is denied on a break. Vasilevsky with a turnover. The Canucks press off of that. But at 4:40, Kucherov on a cross-ice pass. He buries one. McDonough and Point with the assists. Tampa gets a power play. There's a post for Hagel. He was denied on his next opportunity. But then at 6:29 on a tic-tac-toe play, fantastic passing. Point ends up getting the goal. Kucherov and Hedman with the assist. So there's Kucherov back in the game, and he's got a goal and an assist in the second period. The Canucks draw a power play. That's killed off. The shots are 10-4 for Tampa with 8 minutes left. Tampa Bay presses with 7.5 minutes left. Gensel has a wraparound that's held. The Bolts go back to the power play with 3:47 left. That's killed off. Tampa presses for another. In fact, with 1:02 left, Tampa goes back to the power play. So that rolls over into the third period. Tampa Bay up 2-1. The Canucks do finish the kill. The Bolts press at 3.5 minutes, but at 4:52 on what was the Canucks' first shot of the period, Sherwood buries a net feed. Myers and Ratu with the assists, so that ties the game at 2. Chernak exits at this point, and they were already short Cirelli since the first period, so we'll see if Cirelli's going to miss some games or how Chernak's doing, but Tampa Bay was short a couple of bodies there in the third period. Canucks press for the lead. The shots are 4-0 Vancouver at 7 minutes. Canucks press at the half. Bluger fires one wide on a turnover. Things get pushed on a hold by Lankinen. With 5:51 left, there's too many Canucks on the ice. Tampa Bay scores. It's ruled as no goal. It's reviewed and it counts because did it touch Gensel's glove? Yes, but did it touch other items after, including the stick of Noah Juleson? Yes, so the goal counts. It's Gensel from Kucherov and Point at 16:04. That makes it 3-2. Goalie pull happens with 2:06 left. There's a near miss for DeBrusk at the Tampa net, and then Point hits the empty net at 19:42 to put this one away. Tampa Bay wins 4-2. They go to 14-9-2 on the season. Vancouver drops to 14-8-4. Shots on net, 8-6 Vancouver in the first, 18-5 Tampa in the second, 11-8 Vancouver in the third. Final shots 32-24 for Tampa. Power plays, Tampa 2 for 4, Vancouver 0 for 3. The hits 28-9 for Vancouver. Vasilevsky 22 saves on 24 shots. Lankinen 28 saves on 31 shots. So Tampa sweeps the season series with Vancouver, and now they can move on. They have a couple of days off. No, they play again on Tuesday at home against St. Louis. I've got the preview board started, so I'm trying to gaze over at that a little bit while we're talking. All right, last game on this board is the Islanders and the Ottawa Senators. So it's Sorokin versus Forsberg. There's a post for Pinto during an early press because he's not allowed to get a goal. Shots are 4-1 for the Sens at 4 minutes. And at 5:37, Gaudette buries a rebound as they're pressuring. Gregor and Stützle with the assists. Gaudette's shooting percentage is crazy. It is insane. It is so high. If he was on Nashville and he had a shooting percentage like that, they might have a shooting percentage around 9. Anyways, teams exchange rushes. There's a net feed to Lee that gets blocked. The shots are 8-2 for Ottawa at the half, but we get a power play for the Islanders, and they score on it. Lee buries a rebound and close. Dobson and Palmieri with the assists at 12:27, and then Kyle McLean taps in a net feed. Chalowski and Engvall with the assists at 14:46, so it's 2-1 for the Islanders. With 37.3 seconds left, Ottawa goes to a power play. So it's 2-1 Islanders after 1, and early in the second period at 37 seconds, a cross-crease pass is put into the net by Norris. Batherson and Stützle with the assists on that power play marker. Sens press for the lead. The shots are 3-0 Ottawa at 3.5 minutes. The teams trade turnovers. Giroux has a net feed that's picked off. Puck's cleared out. There's a glove save on a rush by Clevin. We get a power play for Ottawa. That's killed off. The Islanders press with 4.5 minutes left. Nelson with a rush chance. That deflects wide. The Islanders press in the final minute. And then in between periods, they were talking about the telethon they have going on, and they had Annie Murphy there talking to Claire Hanna. Claire Hanna was talking to her. Yeah, the name just escaped me for a moment there. And Annie Murphy's fantastic. So there you go. So it's 2-2 after 2. We go to the third period. Early jump for the Sens. Good forechecking by the Isles. Batherson fires one high on a rush. Clevin has a shot that's held as the Sens press. If anybody's wondering who's Annie Murphy, she was in Schitt's Creek. She was the daughter on Schitt's Creek. Anyways, we get a power play for Ottawa. That's killed off. No shots on net. She was also in Kevin Can Go himself, which is a great series, which sadly didn't last very long. The shots are, I think, because of the title. The shots are 5-1 for the Sens at the half. The Islanders press with 9 minutes left. There's a near miss for Gaudette as the Senators get some pressure. But then we get a power play for the Islanders with 7 minutes left. And at 13:46, Palmieri goes glove side from the left circle on the power play from Lee and Dobson. This is the first game all season where the Islanders have scored more than one power play goal. So, tough night for Ottawa's penalty kill. The fans call when the referee does not. The goalie pull happens with 3 minutes left. At 19 minutes and 10 seconds, Horvat hits the empty net. And then a smart move here by Patrick Roy. He calls a timeout so that his players, his defenders, can get a bit of a breather and he doesn't have to put other guys out there. That's how I interpret it anyways. So it's 4-2 for the Islanders. That's your final. They go to 11-11-7 with the win. Ottawa 12-13-2 with the loss. It's got to be frustrating. They get to 500, then they can't get above it. Shots on net, 12-5 Ottawa in the first, 7-5 Ottawa in the second, 12-3 Ottawa in the third. They outshoot the Islanders 31-13. Power plays, Islanders 2 for 2, Ottawa 1 for 3. The hits 25-16 for Ottawa. Sorokin was excellent, 29 saves on 31 shots. Rough night for Forsberg, 9 saves on 12 shots. And let's go to the second board. All right, so it was a good day for visiting teams. Almost all visiting teams. So let's go through board number 2, starting with Columbus and the Winnipeg Jets. Merzlikins versus Comrie in this one. There's an early press by the Jets. Connor's denied. We get a power play for Columbus. There's a shorthanded rush by Connor. And then we end up with a fight between Van Riemsdyk and Pionk. You end up with 4-on-4 for 10 seconds coming out of that. Everything gets killed off. Just one shot for the Jets during their portion of a power play. The shots are 3-1 Columbus at 7 minutes. The Jets press at 7.5 minutes. But what's interesting is the Jets controlled a large portion of this game in Columbus's zone. But if you want to see what I'm talking about when I say a team's kept to the outside, watch that game. The Jets are kept to the outside a lot. So while it looks like they're getting opportunities, they're passing the puck around a lot, they cannot get to the net. We get a power play for Winnipeg. Perfetti's denied. Puck's cleared out. Power play's killed off. That was the only shot on the power play. Kent Johnson fires one wide on a rush. Columbus presses with 4.5 minutes left. The fans call one, the referee doesn't. And then during that same set of plays, they try calling another one, and the referee doesn't. Jets press in the final minute, but it's scoreless after the first. Second period, we get a power play for Winnipeg. That's killed off. The Jets press after it's done. The shots are 2-1 Columbus at 4.5 minutes. Olivier has a wraparound that just flat out misses. We get a press by Columbus at 7 minutes. When the Jets press, there's no path to the net for them. We get a power play for Winnipeg, and they score on it. At 11:51, it's Connor going short side from the right circle. Morrissey and Scheifele with the assists there. It's 1-0 Winnipeg. Then we get a power play for Columbus, and they score on theirs. It's Voronkov bearing a rebound from the side of the net. Marchenko and Werenski with the assists at 13:53. So it's 1-1. Jets press with 3 minutes left. Van Riemsdyk then has a rush chance that's saved. It's 1-1 after 2. Third period. There's a near miss for Connor on a turnover. The Jets press at 2.5 minutes. And again, kept to the outside. Net feed to Connor gets picked off. The shots are 4-2 for the Jets at 6.5 minutes. And then at 7:15, Kent Johnson buries a rebound from the doorstep right in front of the net. Monahan and Van Riemsdyk with the assists. The Jets look to respond, but they turn the puck over, and on a 2-on-1 rush, Kent Johnson puts in a cross-ice pass. Van Riemsdyk and Provorov with the assists at 9:42. It is suddenly a 3-1 lead for Columbus. Jets press with 9 minutes left. There's a press by the Jets as well with 4.5 minutes left. Morrissey has a rush chance. That deflects out. Goalie pull happens with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left, and Elvis thought about it. He thought about going for the empty netter, and if that was an attempt at an empty netter, I'm sorry. That was... It just got to the blue line. So, but he may not practice it, right? So now in practice, he will, I would think. But Corrali hits the empty net at 18:38 anyways, so your final score is 4-1 for Columbus. They go to 12-12-3 with a much-needed victory. Winnipeg drops to 20-9 on the season. I do believe Winnipeg has won 5 out of 11 now, so Winnipeg's going through its issues. Shots on net, 12-6 Columbus in the first, 8-7 Winnipeg in the second, 11-9 Winnipeg in the third. The final shots are 28-25 for Columbus. Power plays, the Blue Jackets 1 for 2, Winnipeg 1 for 4. The hits, 23-11 for Columbus. Merzlikins, 24 saves on 25 shots, and Comrie, 24 saves on 27 shots. So, yeah, a bit of a tough one. All right, next up, Colorado and New Jersey. One thing that I was doing tonight, too, or throughout the day, was putting an up arrow next to a team that won and a down arrow to a team that lost if they change places on the power rankings board. And you'll notice there's no arrows because in every single case, the team that won moved up and the team that lost moved down. So it's Wedgwood versus Allen. The Devils press at 1.5. The shots are 2-0 for the Devils at 3 minutes. At 4:07, though, on their first shot, Colton buries a pass from behind the net. Middlestad and Achushkin with the assists. It's 1-0 Colorado. Cotter has a net drive. That's blocked. Meyer can't bury one in close. Or did he? So they review it to see whether or not it was a goal. And nope, on the review, they decide no goal on the play. Rantanen then has a near miss on a net drive. The shots are 8-2 for the Devils with 9.5 minutes left. The Devils press with 6 minutes left, but at 14:52, O'Connor tips in a net feed to make it 2-0. DeHaan and Kiviranta with the assists. With 2:25 left, the Devils get a power play. There's a near miss for Hischier, which was about the best chance the Devils get there. That's killed off. It's 2-0 Colorado after 1. Second period, shots are 1 apiece at 3.5 minutes. We get a post for McKinnon as the Avs press. Jack Hughes then has a net feed that's blocked. McKinnon's denied as the Avs are pushing, looking for another. The shots are only 2 apiece with 9.5 minutes left. Neither team with an easy path to the net, and that, I think, favors the team with the lead there, right? Devils facing 4 Avs back. Almost any time that there was a rush, almost any time they're on zone entry, there's at least 4 back, if not all 5. Bratt fires one wide from the left circle, and then at 14:35, on a bad line change by the Devils, badly timed line change anyways, Lehkonen gets a breakaway chance that he buries. Middlestad with the assist. So at 14:36 of the second period, it is 3-0 Colorado. We then get a power play for the Avs. That's killed off. We went over, I've got 13 minutes on the board. It was over 15 minutes between shots for the Devils. The Avs press in the final minute, but it's 3-0 Colorado after 2. Third period, early power play for the Devils. Jack Hughes fires one high from the slot. There's a late cycle. Power play's killed off. 3 shots on net. Devils press at 4 minutes. Meyer has a goal that's blocked by Taves. That was going in. Just Devon Taves blocks it with his ankle. Shots are 6-1 Devils at 5.5 minutes. Devils press at 7 minutes. We get a power play for Colorado. That becomes a 26-second 4-on-4. Then there's a shorthanded 2-on-1 that's broken up, and everything's killed off there. Goalie pull happens with 6 minutes and 25 seconds left because they're down by 3. Nason has a one-timer that's held, and then at 16:05, Parker Kelly hits the empty net. Rantanen and DeHaan with the assists, and to close things out, the Bluebirds are out in New Jersey. So it's a 4-0 win. Tony the Tiger Magnet on the board. Colorado goes to 16-13, and between the win over Detroit and this one here, those are impressive victories. New Jersey drops to 18-10-2 on the season. Shots on net, 10-8 New Jersey in the first, 10-2 Colorado in the second, 14-5 for New Jersey in the third. Final shots 26-23 for the Devils. Power plays 0 for 2 for Colorado, 0 for 3 for New Jersey. The hits 19-12 for New Jersey. Wedgwood saves all 26 shots for a shutout. And I can't help but think about that video I did on Nashville earlier today. Wedgwood with a shutout. There you go. Allen, 19 saves on 22 shots at the other end. So, yeah, Colorado's goaltending problems seem to have been solved by Wedgwood, at least right now. And, of course, Georgiev played pretty well in the last game. All right, next up, Utah and Philly. So, is Stauber versus Ersson. Stauber might be forcing his way into the conversation for keeping a job when Ingram comes back. So, Utah has some options here. Forrester's denied from the doorstep. We get a power play for Philly. There's a post for Konechny. That power play's killed off. Just 1 shot on net. Michelli's denied on a rush. Farabee has a rush chance that's held. Utah presses at 8 minutes. We get a power play drawn by the Utah Hockey Club. That's killed off. The shots are 7 apiece with 5 minutes left. That's despite some pressure Utah had after their power play was done. Utah then goes back to the power play. That's killed off as well. It's 0-0 after 1. Second period, the teams exchange rushes. We go over 2 minutes, or over 10 minutes, I should say, between shots for Philly. Shots are 3-0 Utah at 4 minutes. Then there's a post for Michkov on a rebound chance. The Flyers press at 5 minutes, but at 7:01, Carcone puts one in off Risto's skate. He was passing it to the net. Goes in off Ristolainen skate. Bortuzzo with the assist. It's 1-0 Utah. Philly would get it back. Farabee buries a rebound and close. Sealer and Konechny with the assists at 7 minutes and 20 seconds. So it's a 19-second lead there for Utah. Utah presses at 9 minutes, and at 9:41, this goal still shows as being Valimaki's, the last I looked. It may very well have been Sergachev's goal because it looked like it just went off Couturier's stick. It didn't look like it went off Valimaki's, but at this point it showed Valimaki from Sergachev and Cooley at 9:41. But Philly gets it back again. Owen Tippett goes past a screen from a distance. Sealer and Michkov with the assist at 13:34. I don't think Stauber saw that one. Then there's a delay game call that gives Utah a power play, and they score on it. Cooley dekes around Ersson and just roofs it. Gunther and Keller with the assists at 15:28. It is a 3-2 lead for Utah. The ref is told that he sucks shortly thereafter because you got to tell the referee he sucks. How else would he know? Flyers press with 2 minutes left, but it is 3-2 for Utah after 2. Third period. The Flyers score. There's a goalie interference challenge. It was pretty obvious early on while they were reviewing it that, that was probably coming back, and eventually it does. The shots are 3-1 for the Flyers at 4 minutes. Cooley has a rush chance that's kicked aside. Utah presses at 6.5 minutes. The Flyers block. The teams trade rushes. The shots are 3 apiece with 9 minutes left. The Flyers draw power play, desperately needing a goal because they're down by 1, but there's a turnover, and Stenlund on a breakaway, probably surprised he had the puck on a breakaway, he scores the shorthanded goal at 15:43 to make it 4-2 for Utah. Keller's then denied on a 3-on-1 rush. They pull the goalie. Michkov's denied during the 6-on-5. 2:42 left. The Flyers call a timeout. Things get pushy and punchy on a hold by Stauber, and Utah wins this one 4-2. They go to 12-11-4 with the win. With the loss, Philadelphia 12-12-4. Shots on net, 12-7 Utah in the first, 9-8 Philly in the second, 7-5 Philly in the third. Final shots 25-23 for Utah. Power plays, Utah 1 for 3, Philadelphia 0 for 2. The hits 23-22 for Philadelphia. Stauber saves 21 out of 23. Ersson saves 21 out of 25. So, entertaining game. Utah gets the 2 points. All right, last game of the night, Calgary and Dallas. So, Wolf versus Ottinger in this one, and a minute in, on a 2-on-1, on their first shot, Calgary scores. It's Huberdeau from Kadri and Pospisil. So, nice fast start there for Calgary. Stars look to respond. We get a power play for Dallas. That becomes a 4-on-4, which transitions into a power play for Calgary. And Johnston forces a turnover, and he scores shorthanded at 4:25, making the game 1-1. Dallas then finishes the kill. That's the important part. Flames press at 8 minutes. We get a power play for Dallas. That's killed off with 2:59 left. Dallas gets their third power play of the first period. Calgary kills that off as well. So it's 1-1 after 1, but killing off 3 power plays. Calgary probably feels pretty good. They just probably wouldn't want the shorthanded goal to have happened. Second period, Dewar to Coleman. There's a near miss. The teams trade rushes. Good forechecking by the Flames. The shots are 2-0 Calgary, 3.5 minutes in. Kadri has a net feed. That's picked off. Dumba has a shot that's held as the Stars press. Then there's an offensive zone penalty by Robertson that ends that. We get a shorthanded 2-on-1. Maverick Bork's denied there. And then out of the box, Jason Robertson scores from Beck at 7:46. So they kill that one off, and then they score shortly thereafter. Stars then have a 2-on-0 that misfires. Things get punchy and a hold by Wolf. He gets a bit shaken up on the play, but he stays in the game. The Flames press with 8.5 minutes left. The Stars get some pressure with 6 minutes left. The teams trade turnovers. And then at 16:08, a puck goes in off Connor Zeri's skate. And so Calgary ties the game there. Miramanov and Kuzmenko with the assists. And it's 2-2 after 2. Third period, teams trade early rushes. The Flames press at a minute and a half. Robertson has a chance that's held. Dodonov has a net drive that's blocked. The shots are 5-2 Calgary at 5 minutes. I honestly thought Calgary was going to win this game. I thought they had everything under control, but at 5:13 on a 2-on-1 rush, kind of out of nowhere, Hintz scores. Lindell and Robertson with the assists. Then Stankoven is robbed as Dallas has a lead and they want to add to it. And then Duchesne hits a post on what was essentially an open net for him. Backlund then has a net drive that's saved. There's a near miss for Huberdeau. The Stars rush, and Wolf comes out, plays the puck, and on his turnover, Steele gets a goal. Jamie Benn with the assist at 12:01. So an oops there, and that makes it 4-2 for Dallas. Then Harley, it's a wrister that deflects in. Lundqvist and Beck with the assist at 13:02. That goal may change to Beck if it hasn't changed already. So I'm just throwing that out there. But yeah, so Dallas, that's another insurance goal. With 3:21 left, the Stars get a power play, becomes 4-on-4, and they score 4-on-4. Harley from Marchment and Duchesne at 19:02. So that makes your final score 6-2, and the Calgary announcers kept saying it doesn't feel like a 6-2 game. It doesn't. Game was very close until Dallas blew it open. Dallas goes to 17-10 with the win. Calgary 13-10-5 with the loss. Shots on net, 12-5 Dallas in the first, 14-7 Calgary in the second, 12-9 Calgary in the third. Final shots, 31-28 for Calgary. Power plays, Calgary 0-3, Dallas 0-4. Their power play at home, not good. The hits, 32-11 for Calgary. And it's weird because Dallas has a really good home record. They just don't score on the power play. Wolf, rough night statistically, 22 saves on 28 shots. Ottinger was excellent, 29 saves on 31 shots at the other end. So there you go. You guys are all caught up on the 7 games from tonight. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.